Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I've got 5 books that I still think about. These are 5 books that I've read at least 2 years ago that I still kind of think about, that still have like stuck with me and really stood the test of time. I don't have many of these books physically with me because at the time I either got them from the library or I own them and have lent them out to friends because they're the kinds of book that I'm just like, just read it, read it, read it. I've been that friend. So I don't have many books to hold up for you today, but that's never been a problem, has it? No, all right, okay. So the first book I still think about is White Oleander by Janette Fitch. Like, this book, guys, this book, when I found out that it took the author 10 years to write, like, you could tell, like, every sentence in this book is so crafted, like, has been edited a million times to be the best sentence ever. It was just so gripping, so real, so visceral. I can't really do it justice with the words, but for me, the main character in this book, her name is Astrid, and like, I was worried about her when I was not physically reading this book. Like, I would think about her and just be like, oh man, hope she's doing okay, like, hope everything's going all right with her. And to this day, I still worry about her. Even though I finished the book and that period of my life is over, like, oh man, I hope she's doing okay. I hope everything's going all right. I hope she's got like nice people around her, and I hope that she's, you know, kicking goals in life, and I hope she's like had a hug recently because oh man, I have no doubt in my mind that Astrid is out there walking around, living her life out there. She's a real person, and I hope she's doing okay because I can't be there to watch the pages and look out for her anymore, and I really hope she's still doing okay. The second book I want to talk about is The Age of Earthquakes by Douglas Coupland. And this book for me, guys, it was 2 years ago when I read it, and like, I just devoured that book. It is a non-fiction book, and I think the tagline is, it's a guide to the extreme present or something like that. But I just connected with this non-fiction book in a way that I have never done before. I will put some inserts here of some of the pages so you get an idea of it. But if your local library has this, or if you see it randomly in a bookstore, pick it up, check it out. It's disturbingly accurate in a way that makes you angry for it being so real. It's the kind of books that makes me remember how like small and insignificant I am, and how like yeah, how meaningless the world is. It's a great book. It's a great book. You should all pick it up. But it is a book that has stuck with me, and to this day, like, I still think about it. The third book is a book that I can actually hold up. It is Stone Gods by Janette Winterson. I bought this book a couple of days ago from my secondhand bookstore because I have been itching to get my own copy of this, because this book, guys, this book, I love it. It's a book, it's 3 parts, or it's 3 lots of stories that connect to each other, or it's like 3 stories on a similar theme. It's like however you want to interpret it. But the first story from this in particular has just stuck with me. The main thing that really stuck with me is the concept in this book that they rent everything. They rent everything that they own. Nobody owns anything because it's so harmful to the environment to be owning things. But then they don't really understand that by renting things, you're actually like contributing more to the disposable nature of items. Oh man, it kind of like blew my mind a little bit and made me like so angry. Like, I wanted to shake the book, but also like check my own privilege and make sure that I'm making good decisions in my own life. It's one of those kinds of books, guys. But that concept of renting and deciding not to own something to help the environment but doing it more damage has just really stuck with me ever since I read it. That wasp is back. The fourth book is The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake by Aimee Bender. This book was one of my introductions, or one of the books that I really connected with that had magical realism in it. And I really loved the way that magical realism was handled in this particular book. This book is about a girl who can taste the emotions within food. So it starts off with her and her family, and she's kind of tasting what her parents are cooking for her and understanding things that are kind of beyond her maturity level. And I really liked that in this book it presents the idea of that moment when you realize your parents aren't these like mythical godlike creatures, but they're actually just humans making human decisions and have human flaws. It looks at that, and I remember it really kind of hitting me really hard. I'm trying hard not to spoil the book here, but like, yeah, just have a lot of love for this book, and I still think about that girl, and I still think about the way that book was crafted, and the ideas within it have really stuck with me to this day. And that's why we're doing this tag. Moving on. And the final book I want to talk about is The Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I read this like at least 2 years ago, and was kind of blown away by the plot and the way that it's crafted and the way that it all came together in the end, or didn't, depending on your own interpretation. And like I still think about that book and go like, huh, what? I still think about like, was that real? I don't know. It's made me think about the way that endings occur in books, and like how satisfied you can be when you don't own the story. I think as a reader, you know, capital R, as a reader, we can feel sometimes like something is owed to us in a book, and when that isn't delivered, we can get a bit frustrated and annoyed. But I also, in this particular book, it made me think about who owns the story, and like if I can be mad at it for delivering or not delivering what I wanted from it. Yeah, it gave me all the feels. But furthermore, this book was really cool when I read it. I got a paperback version. I've lent it out to a friend. And it came with an iPad app, and there were these little symbols within the book that you could scan in this app and get all this extra content. And I just really loved that interactive process. Like, one of the characters in the book is a piano player, so there is a part in the book where he hears her playing, and you can click on this symbol and hear the music. And it's just, I thought it was really clever. There's also things like video files, there is, you know, like newspapers and a lot of kind of multimedia aspects to it. But yeah, I thought that was so well executed. So those were 5 books that I read at least 2 years ago that I still think about, that are still taking up brain space, you know. I've been reading books, like capital R reading, for like the past 5 years. I've noticed that my reading tastes and my reading habits have really changed over that time. And it's interesting for me to go back through my Goodreads. You know, that book was a 5-star at that time. You know, do I still feel the same way? Do I still think about it? Would I still give it 5 stars if I read it again right now? And, you know, all those kinds of things. I would really love to hear what other people have to say about this. It's not like a traditional kind of tag video. I mean, like, maybe we could call it that if you want. If you like this concept and it's something that you would like to do a video response to, I would totally love to hear it. I want you to pick 5 books that you read at least 2 or more years ago that you still, to some degree, think about. And it doesn't have to be like they were all amazing and wonderful and mind-blowing. Like, maybe they were so bad that you're still like thinking about how bad they are, or maybe there was just a character in there that you like still have feelings for, or maybe it's like a character death that you still haven't gotten over, or like whatever it is. Maybe it's some like concepts that really kind of hit you at the right time and like kind of blew your mind. I want to know, what are the books that still stick with you? So if there's anyone out there that you know feels interested or would like to do this video, I would totally love to hear what you've got to say. If you don't want to make a whole video, just pop some things in the comments below. If you read any of these books, or if you agree or disagree or have any kind of opinion, just talk to me in the comments below. You know I love it. And you know, if you want to have a chat over on Twitter, I'll also do that too. Although time zones, man, time zones are a bitch. That's all right. We'll work with it. It's fine. Thank you all so much for joining, and thank you so much for spending your time with me, because love it. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye. I've only been here like publicly for a couple of months, but I've been a reader for longer than that. And I think this is a nice way for me to show you where I've been and what my reading journey has been before I got to this point.